Simon Stevens is the Director of Casework for AddictionsUK. They're based in County Durham. Good morning, Simon.
Good morning, Mike.
How would you feel if a member of your family then was using cannabis?
Well, having had a great deal of personal experience of the damage it can cause, I would be concerned.
So it should remain an illegal drug and at a Class B level?
I'm not sure I'd say that. It's not about legality or illegality. It is the fact that some substances that we use recreationally, including alcohol, which is of course legal, have massive side effects for a significant number of people who use them.
So what harm did it cause you then, Simon?
I either was responsible for certain mental health difficulties or it particularly exaggerated them. I came to believe that it was a medicine that was helping me when in fact over the years the effects of it came more and more detrimental.
Why did you start using it in the first place?
Well, I think because it was a rite of passage, and I think I found that initially it seemed to fix me, and that's where I'm talking about that potential mental health issues. I now understand that effectively turns off certain areas of the brain. And my concern is, why as a society, living as we do in one of the wealthiest countries in the world, that so many people wish to engage in chemical substances, including alcohol, that effectively switches off to the world around us.
And in what needed fixing in your case, Simon? You keep talking about fixing a problem.
So I think it was about acknowledging my own personality, that whilst it was different, perhaps to the majority of people, it was atypical as opposed to typical, that accepting that and not trying to pretend to be somebody I wasn't. Accepting who Simon really was. There are assets in there, and of course there are debits, there are for everybody. Accepting that, and particularly learning to live much more in the moment rather than trying to problem solve everything that came along.
So,
that overthinking and overanalyzation.
So it gave you the confidence to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And why did you choose cannabis when perhaps most people would choose alcohol?
I think that this argument can be made for both of those substances. I guess that one of the things about cannabis that I noticed was you don't effectively get so obviously drunk. However, I'm now very much aware that that your cognitive abilities, even having had a small amount of cannabis, are affected up to 20 to 48 hours later. And my concern is with that, whereas when people have been drinking, obviously you can tell, although we do have a problem with people driving, for example, the next day. Well, if you think of The Simpsons, there is this character who drives the school bus who's clearly a recreational drug user. It's a joke. We don't want that to be a reality.
So where would you stand on a club having a permanent base then in County Durham?
When I was using drugs, I went to the local pub and you bought drugs there. I really don't see what the difference is. It's just dealers in a different guise.
You know, and they're saying any profits made would go to support groups.
Well, it's interesting they recognise that the substance they're selling needs support groups.
Exactly. Interesting. Good to talk to you, Simon. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mike.
Simon Stevens, Director of Casework for AddictionsUK. They are based in County Durham. Have you used cannabis then in any shape or form? You can contact me anonymously. I just want to